So this is probably going to be my last video for now. Using the screen protector, as you guys can see, I actually have the update installed through Notion Ink Fans links and directions, which worked out well. Sorry about the bubbles. I met up with another member of Notion Ink Addicts earlier today and took off the protector to take some comparative pictures from his atom and my atom. Screen protector helps quite a bit. You can still see even with the protector on. Still got that problem, and viewing angles aren't that great still. But it does help. I'm indoors right now, and I'm in actually a very well lit room. So what you're seeing up there is 260 watt fluorescent lights, T12 lights, I think, full spectrum, so very white. I wanted to show you guys what you should expect using the Pixel Key indoors. So let's get that started. Okay. Sniffer. If you guys have a lot of apps, you probably will not like the ribbon because it's not apps running, it's apps installed, running or not. So if you have a lot, it's going to take a while to scroll through them. And let's go ahead to PDF. After the update, the atom is a lot more responsive. A lot of the problems weren't fixed, but the screen is more responsive and it's a lot less laggy, especially when I'm looking through a PDF or when I am going through the gallery or for reading comic books manually. So here's the regular mode and the Pixel Key mode. My camera picks it up as a little bit more lit than it actually is in real life. It's pretty dark. Let me try to move to another room with so the Sony doesn't pick up as much light. The XMR sensor of the Sony actually picks up quite a bit of light. It's actually pretty dark, and I don't think you can actually read it with Pixel Key indoors. Even in a well lit room, it's going to be quite a strain on the eyes. But outdoor is it's pretty readable. There's still a bit of glare. Some people might have a problem with that. I don't really know. I haven't spent a lot of time reading with it. After the update, though, I'm still getting a lot of problems. To be honest, forced close, about average 1 or 2 every hour. My atom shuts down randomly on its own for some reason once in a while. I wish I could show you guys a video of that happening, but there are sporadic occurrences and I can't set that up. Now to show you guys something else, I actually went ahead and installed Launcherpro on here. I'm not really a fan of ADW, so let me show you what that looks like. Here you are. Looks like a giant phone, but I'm actually quite okay with it. It actually has a dedicated app drawer, which I really enjoy. This isn't really that many apps to begin with, but once I get a lot more apps, then having the drawer and not having my desktop clutter would be, a real boon to me. And going back, I can actually have widgets. Dictionary.com's out. Here's Engadget. I'm not connected to Wi-Fi right now, so if you use another launcher, that's your choice. Eden itself is, from my usage, it's like a launcher. It's basically a launcher, and the panels are big widgets. Some people like it, some people don't. I find Launcherpro to be a lot more familiar and a lot more responsive. However, when I'm not using Eden, sometimes I get artifacts on the screen. I do get them in Eden, but nowhere as much. Let me go ahead and go back to Eden. 1 second. Home screen. Now, I don't really care for the panels. I think it needs a lot of work and it's pretty limited, especially without Genesis. But the main panel here is actually my favorite part. of the Atom so far. It's a really useful tool. Basically like the home screen of a phone. These are what you last did, your calendar, your mail, Facebook media player, and time and date. I'm not sure if you can change these or reorganize them. I haven't taken a look. One of the things the update did was it gave me a functional, let me try to get that out. Gave me a functional help menu, which wasn't there before. And one of the other things I do like about Eden, where you can't get into the launcher, is when you're trying to do a background change, you can resize it and it will fit to the Eden. Whereas you can see in Launcherpro before, that wasn't happening at all. And let me show you guys that. Now, what you have to be careful though is once you change the wallpaper, you might not be able to change it back. I haven't been able to find it anywhere in the Atom's memory. Okay, wallpapers. Sniffer itself is pretty useful. It doesn't show you everything, especially if you have long names. Then it doesn't show you everything, and it's not always as intuitive as I would like. So, for example, it's actually highlighted there in that one. And if you need the info, it would be here. You know, instead of just giving you the info here. But alright, let's just go back to the gallery program. I'm actually not pressing as hard as a lot of people are thinking. Using the screen protector itself has washed out my colors quite a bit, and responsiveness of the screen has gone down due to the plastic layer. So before you guys, try to blame this on me, it's not my fault, and I've confirmed it with the other member. Okay, let's try to change a wallpaper for you. Like I said, it's not always as responsive as I would like. Pretty softly, sometimes hit or miss. Alright, here's Zombie Woody, and menu. Let's go to more, set as wallpaper, and here you go. I will actually get to pick. It has a set ratio. It's not always a square like this. Sometimes it's a rectangle. I'm not really sure why, but it's setting. Okay, and now to get back to my home screen. Oh, there you go. And it's the full thing. And if I go to the Launcherpro, it's not stretched out. I haven't deactivated the wallpaper scrolling. So there you are. The full thing is on there. Back to the home screen. Rohan was nice enough to tell me that to pull down Eden, just tap once on the clock. Doesn't always work for me though. There you go, it's working quite well now. But one of the things I have a problem with is that when you're doing that, that only works for this panel. Okay. Again, like I said, not as responsive around the top and the edges, and unfortunately a lot of things you do have to touch those areas. What I'm trying to do now is move the notification bar. As you can see, I'm having quite a bit of problem with that. I give up on that. So let me show you that tapping the other pans, trying to pull down Eden, doesn't work, but it will work some of the time with a 2-finger pull down. if I could get it to work, you should actually be up higher, which I can't seem to do, as the screen is not being responsive, and I don't know. Well, I can't show you guys that, so I'm pretty sorry about that. Let me try to pull down some more panels and see if I could get it working. There you go. It took quite a bit of effort, but it worked. Pulling the panel up. Also, there you go. It took a little while, but it worked. I wasn't able to find the weather app or the radio, so I can't confirm that for you guys. I can't confirm a user replaceable battery either. There's no manual, but one of the things that the update fixed was that in-pan, I'm not connected to Wi-Fi, but actually I am. Before it wasn't working, but now in-pan browsing does work, and it usually works, and I find it pretty useful. One of the other launchers was able to implement particularly this browser in panel mode. Be really great too, as well as the main mode. Okay, so I guess that should be it. Once again, here's the pixel key mode. My camera picks up more light than it should. It's actually quite dark, but as you can see, the screensaver helps immensely. Let me try to take it off for you right now so you can see the difference. It doesn't fit as well, so I'm getting all sorts of bubbles on the side and debris, but it's really hard to take off. And there you go. And let me try to move this into a area when I'm not capturing so much ambient light that it gives you guys a false impression of how bright it is. This is about how bright it is. I'm still in a fairly well lit room. No screen protector and screen protector. Let me go ahead and pick that up. Yeah, that's it's about this bright. Viewing angles are also a lot better with the screen protector. The wide angle, I find it a little unnatural for reading. It's really narrow, and especially when you're out in the sun, you're reading, you have to tilt back and forth, and it changes the viewing angle, so it's a little distracting. I guess I'm going to play with this thing a little more, and then after that give my official review. But until they give a new update or something, this should be it right now. Alright, thanks guys.